obscure group from the Motown record label. Let's go to it right now. Billboard's Hot 100. This one, Billboard's Hot 100 of October 26, 1968. And top 5 hits from that week of 1968. Girl Watcher by The Occasions at number 5. Those Were the Days, for my friend, from the Apple record label by Mary Hopkins, a Beatles record label. Fire, remember Fire, Fire, I'll Teach You to Burn, something like that. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. Yes, his one-hit wonder at number 3. And boy, that was a wonder right there. And Little Green Apples by O.C. Smith at number 2. That was a lovely record, particularly before he got into the chorus, I think. And of course, number 1 record, Hey Jude by the Beatles, week of October 26, 1968. And by the way, that record by the Beatles, Hey Jude, on Billboard's Hot 100 for 19 weeks. But let's go all the way down. I think I lost my place on this record. Here it is. They sound Fantastic Four, I Love You Madly. It's at number 60. Actually, it's dropped from 56. No, I take that back. God, wait a minute. It leapfrogged. It moved from 74 to number 60. Looked promising. That week of October 1968. Fantastic Four. This record, they sound like the Temptations. You'd think that David Ruffin was singing lead on this record, but it's not. Sounds a lot like the Temptations. Same sound almost. Well, Fantastic Four, Fantastic Four, they formed in 1965. They started out with the Rick Tick label, based in Detroit, and they came out with their first big hit, The Whole World Is a Stage. You might remember that. Huge R&B hit, 1967. Not so much on the pop charts, though it did get some airplay on the pop stations. And then Motown, they bought out the Rick Tick record label. But before Motown bought out the Rick Tick label, the Fantastic Four, along with Edmund Starr, they were the flagship artists. They were the biggest artists on the Rick Tick record label back in the mid-60s. Bought out by Motown, and they came out with a number of sides, including I Love You Madly in 1968. And later on, they joined the Westbound record label, and they had some disco things out in the late 70s. One of those disco records produced by Dennis Coffey. The record was called Burn Your Own Funk. No, it's called Bring Your Own Funk. Yeah, now that's like funkadelic right there. But that one did not chart. Now, you got to remember Dennis Coffey, a session guitarist at Motown. He had a couple of instrumentals in the early 70s. You might remember Scorpio and Taurus back in 1972. But Dennis Coffey produced that particular record by the Fantastic Four, Bring Your Own Funk. But let's go back to the soul days of the 1960s. A station that showed a lot of love for the Fantastic Four. Station based out of Canada. It was Windsor, Canada, but served the Detroit area. They were like almost clear channel, I think. 800 fit where their frequency was 800 AM and 50,000 watts. God, 50,000 watts on a low frequency station. You cover a lot of real estate. Believe me, 50,000 watts, low frequency of 800, you're kicking some butt, big time. Well, anyway, this station, CKLW, the name of the radio station, they had a tight playlist, though, tight for the 60s, about 30 records, but they showed a lot of love for the Fantastic Four. They played their records. Good for them. Billboard's Hot 100 of October, let me get that date again. October 26, 1968, at number 60, we got the Fantastic Four, I Love You Madly. It peaked at number 56. But it was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 9 weeks.